Hello everyone. In today's video, I will show you how to draw hair from simple silhouette. No sketching, no line art needed. So what is this silhouette? That is basically the overall shape of any object that you are going to draw. It is similar like a cutout. For example, look at this shape. I'm sure you can tell that it's a leg from the side view. So all we need is to remember the shapes and then we can gradually add details to it. So this is the reference that I'm going to follow for today's painting. So first I'm going to simply look at the shape and try to copy that by blocking using dark gray color. We are going to start with grayscale because it would be easier to understand the values that way. Then we will color it separately. I have used hard pastel brush for the entire painting. I would suggest you to not worry too much about accuracy. As long as the shape looks like a hair, that should be okay. For blocking in the base color, you don't really have to use any specific brush for that. I have used hard pastel because it's one of my favorite brushes, but you can use any other brush as you like. Notice that I have kept the canvas smaller so that I have a proper idea of the shape. As long as I don't need to add any detail, I don't need to zoom in. If you do that, then you will lose the sense of the overall shape and end up wasting lots of time for nothing. After making the rough silhouette, you can use liquify paint to reshape any weird part. Now that we are left with the main shape, let's add the hair strands to make it look more natural and believable. If you would like, you can use any fine brushes that gives you better edge control. I just do not like to change brushes a lot, so I have used this same hard pastel brush for the strands as well. You don't have to go overboard with the stray hair strands. Just add the amount that is sufficient to make it look like a proper silhouette. The great thing about this technique is you can save a lot of time. The time to make a proper line art or sketch can be avoided if you start immediately with blocking colors. Also, in this case, you have less chances of messing things up as you have the overall shape ready. All you need to do is mold it properly. At this point, without any doubt, anyone can tell that it's a shape of a hair, not just some random block. Now it's time to add the details, aka highlights and shadows. We're going to start with the highlights. Take a new layer above the silhouette layer. and clip it to avoid any mistakes. Then simply decrease the brush size and add random hair strands. It's important to understand the flow and nature of the hair. If it's a straight hair, then you are going to draw more or less straight lines. If it's a wavy hair, then draw curvy lines. And if it's a really curly hair, then draw very curvy lines, almost like a spring or a sound wave. So that was for the nature of the hair. Now for the flow of the hair, you need to figure out if there is some kind of wind going on that's making the hair move in a certain direction, or if the hair is styled in a certain way, for example braids or ponytail, then you have to draw the lines in that direction. I would always suggest you to draw the lines from top to bottom. It makes the flow look much better. Once again, you don't have to be precise. Just make sure that it's resembling the hair flow. The plan is not to draw a lot of strands. Just the highlighted ones should be good enough. Now it's time to add darker color to the shadowy parts. For that, we need to go back to the first layer once again, as we don't want the dark colors to cover up the highlighted parts. Paint in between the gaps of those strands. Leave some parts to show that those parts are reflecting more light than the rest. By doing that, you can make the hair look really voluminous and bouncy. Now it's time to add even darker color to the parts which have very less opportunity to get hit by direct light. In this case, that would be the regions close to the face and neck. Also, some random areas in between the highlighted parts. Finally, for the finishing touch, we're going to go to the highlight layer once again to add even lighter parts. These highlighted parts are a bit exaggerated than the actual hair reference, but it makes the hair look really shiny and attractive. So yeah, I love to add that shine because it's pretty. Fixing some little mistakes before we move on to coloring the finished hair. Now it's time to move on to coloring. I'm going to keep it similar to the reference color, which I regretted later because unusual hair colors in artwork looks really nice, but I just went for the basic brown color. Anyways, now all we need to do is take a new layer, then clip it. Next, change the blending mode to overlay. You can also use color blending mode for the same purpose, but the results are going to differ, so it's all up to you. I started with lighter brown color for the outer edge and the stray hairs, as those are reflecting more light and they are less in concentration. Next up, I am going to add darker brown and eventually the darkest brown color. You can just honestly paint using single color and call it a day. But if you want to show some more color variations, you can try what I'm doing right now. There are actually other ways of coloring from grayscale. I would suggest you to check out the video in the card above for more information. For this specific tutorial, I am using this blending mode technique. Enjoy the coloring process. I'm going to get back to you real soon. For the final touch, I am going to take a new layer above the existing layers and change the mode from normal to color dodge. It's because I want to add some extra shine. It's totally optional. I'm doing it because I'm a shine lover, like I told you guys before. So I love adding these little details. Finally, we are done with it. And now, if you want to change the entire color of the hair, you can simply change the hue of it. Personally, I really like this bright purple hair and should have done this tutorial using that same color. Anyways, I hope it was helpful to you. I would love to hear your feedbacks because it helps me improve my tutorials and also help me with the algorithm situation. I would really appreciate that. So that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care.